Yo, welcome to the show. It's the Lenny Reed Pod.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is episode 182. They lied to us. What did they lie to us about? I'm going to get into it. I'm going to talk about it. And before I get to that, if you'd like to support this podcast, please hit one of those links in the description. Anything would help. Okay? We don't have iHeart, or we would love to have iHeart or Black Effect, whatever those podcast networks. We would love to have them behind us. Actually, no, I don't. I like to have freedom. I like to say what I want to say. I like to do what I want to do, and I don't want nobody on my back about it. Okay? It's a few things that I want to get off my chest, but before that, I have a situation that by the time this come out, I will already been through it. I have a colonoscopy coming up, and if you don't know what that's about, they put you to sleep, right? They stick this tube up your ass. It has a camera on it also, and they able to look into your colon and see if there's anything going on. But the day before, you have to take all of this medicine and flush yourself out. And my thing is 30, I'm sorry, I said 30. 46 years of eating pure shit. And when I say pure shit, I mean hot dogs, hamburgers, ribs, beef stew, ramen noodles, steak 'em. I can go on and on. Potato chips, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, bread, pizza, Italian hot dogs, Italian cheeseburgers, alcohol, whatever you want to name, I had within the last 46 years. So I go in, and they're gonna go in with that scope with the light on it, and just, I don't know how they do it, but you lay on your side and they just just push it all up in there. And polyps are something that will probably be on the effect of little knobs or little protrusions, like little bumps, right? And if they see them, they would do cut it or whatever, however they get it, and they'd do a biopsy just to see if it has any cancerous cells in it. So, that's going to be very important for me. I'm also a little bit shook, but by the time this come out, I would know what direction the car is driving in. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it's in a good direction, down a good road, and I won't have no issues. But wish me luck on that. And if you in the 40, 45 range, it's something that you should be looking into getting done, because definitely if it's in your family. If you have an issue of colon cancer in your family, you got to get that checked out, all right? Because you want to be here. I know everybody else want to be here. Your family wants you here, so get that checked out, man. You know what I mean? I'm here to help. I'm here for the bullshit too, but I'm also here to help and here to direct people. And I'm sorry about that. I didn't turn nothing off, but okay. So back where we was at. This is real time, baby. This is real time. Anyway, it's something I want to get off my chest. And this podcast is about they lied to us, okay? And there's a lot of things that I have to talk about that we as society has been lied to about. Now, the first one is, we was taught when we was real young on the basic things about science, dissecting a frog or something that we had never fucking do. Like, I don't understand why we dissecting frogs. But anyway, we did learn about the moon and the stars and planets and all that stuff, right? Dope. I am a science buff. That's the reason I have this podcast. But also it was a whole bunch of, social studies and history. History, I love history too. I want to travel the world, check all out the history sites that's still around. I would love to do that. Egypt. I want to hit up, the Amsterdam area. Not for Amsterdam, but, the area, Germany. Definitely Germany. You got a lot of history in Germany. Belgium, Belgium. Want to check out the waffles and all of that. But anyway, it's a lot of stuff that we've been taught, and in the real world, it doesn't calibrate. And I want to break it down, if y'all would let me. Okay. One is college. Now, I know a lot of people that have a degree, went to college for 4 years, some 5, and they basically don't have a job under their degree. So they're doing something else. And that's something I don't understand. If you went to college for 4 or 5 years, and I know things change, life change, your life go in different directions, but you should have some kind of flow in the same direction. So say, for instance, if you went for, arts or transportation and you're driving a truck, that's sort of in the same realm, but you didn't get that degree to drive trucks. So what happened is the industry in that field, it wasn't make as much money as actual driving a truck, opposed to directing trucks and making sure the trucks get their proper, shit going. I don't know, but a lot of people was heavy on going to college. You're going to get through school, you're going to graduate high school, and you're off to college. And it's sort of, it was like it was a setup from the beginning. Just imagine everybody that comes out of high school, the banks or whatever institutions that we're talking about, I mean, they constantly having kids pop out to get, a loan for school. And I know people that been out of school, 10 years, 20 years, and they still paying on their student loans. So is college really it? If you like computers and you want to do something in, I don't know, building games and stuff like that, coding and stuff like that, in today's time, you can probably direct yourself straight to it in some kind of trade or some kind of, some kind of schooling system that you can go straight directly to where you want to go instead of bullshitting or lollygagging in that whole realm of college with all the other filler classes. And, guys, they get over to college and, just see all these girls that they didn't see when they was in high school. And maybe, you getting a certain kind of energy here and, you want to get on a football team or the basketball team. Now, if your goal is to go to the league as far as football, basketball, or baseball, yes, I understand that whole track, because if you are good and if you're doing your shit, your school will be paid for. So you get right through there and you get out. And I want to say, shout out to Ronnie Hickman, who, his whole trajectory was playing football since I remember. Little kids playing football, pops, moms, taking them. They was on him. He was doing what he had to do in school. Nice kid, got to the draft this year, 2023. And I'm sitting there watching the draft and I'm like, oh man. And I see his name at number 6 in the safety section. And I'm like, he's slowly climbing up. And it was like, 5 other safeties ahead of him. I'm like, what team? Come on, what team need a safety? Come on. This dude, his whole life was just in the straight line trying to get into the league. And they said the draft was ended and he was still sitting there. Come to find out, probably like an hour later, he was actually, signed by, I think it's Cleveland Browns. So I want to give a shout out to Ronnie Hickman. He have a chance to show his skills. He has a chance to show the heart, and I know he will climb all the way up that division and get the best pay. And yes, a lot of people don't really care about money, but it helps because he can help his family that dished out the money while he was coming up. So that's cool. But other than that, you get into college and you sort of get, a couple years in, you don't want to do this major, then you switch your major. And at a certain point, it gets to the point that you are just trying to graduate. You just want to walk across that stage to make your family happy, but the shit hits the fan when it's time to find a job, when it's time to get in the field that you got your degree in. And that's basically where it gets cold. Okay? So, what is college? Now, before we even get to college, and just say to other people that's not going to college. So there's another turn that you make. This side, they go to college. This side goes right into the working field. Okay? That is the other lie that we was told about the working field. Now, case in point, you get a factory job. Now, for years, factory jobs been caking. Okay? My uncle worked for Ford for years. Always had a brand new, up-to-date Ford. Had a nice house right next to us. And he retired at Ford. We tried to get in Ford, but I don't know. It didn't work out the way we wanted to. But the good thing is, I don't like Fords no more. I never did. So maybe that was a good thing because I think they are the worst. Just about. I like their pickup trucks, though. That's about it. That's why I stop at. So that whole industry of you work at a warehouse or, some kind of distribution center or somewhere where they make cars at. You get in a union, you get a 401k, and you get a pension. And you get the residuals of that as you continue to work and build and build. Once you retire, you have a set amount of money that you can ride into the sunset with. Okay? You add in a little punk ass money that Social Security gets you, and then boom, you good. But as that industry went to cheaper locations and they start to pull out of locations like Detroit and other cities that the warehouses or the factories just left. Now that left a hole when it came to retirement. Because now it's harder to retire when you go to a regular company that, one, doesn't give two craps about your lifestyle, doesn't have you set up with a safety net, and, can fire you any day off of bullshit. So that lie was, you get a good job, you work your ass off, you get retirement through 401k and a pension, right? Those days are over with. Companies are snatching pensions like it's nothing. And guess what's next that I think? Guess what's next? The 401ks. Now, the 401ks is also fugazi because you are putting money into a pot and this particular company is distributing your money for investments in whatever, loaning it out, whatever. That's what the banks do, but I'll get into that also. So the realm of any direction you cut, whether it's college or you going straight into the working field, unless you go straight into a job that has you set up, and maybe that would be some kind of police officer, fire department. And, coming up where I came up, it was a fire station right down the street. And we used to go out there, hang out, you know what I'm saying? Watch TV and play basketball in the back. It was a cool spot to hang out. And they tried to always get, me and my brothers to take the fireman's test. We didn't want to hear that shit. But if you think about it, what do you do? Firefighter for what, 25 years or something like that? 20 years, if that? If I would have went into that field of being a firefighter, I would have been retired by now, right? At the age of 46, I'd have been retired. And I would have probably been getting $70,000 a year for the rest of my life. But you don't know this stuff while you out and about doing little kitty game shit. And, just doing regular stuff. You don't know this stuff. So that's what happened to me. Maybe, in another lifetime. So you get down to the other field and we put into Social Security. Social Security tells you how much you would make if you retired. So, it'll give you an estimate of how much you would make per month if you was retired at the age of 65. You can be 35. It should give you an estimate if you keep working and you keep putting it in the pot. But as you've seen in a lot of, political fields, that money is running out. There is going to be no money for Social Security. So what do we do in that? While we was aiming for college, or we was just aiming for a 9-to-5, and as we get older and older, it's harder. Believe me, I know. It's harder to get out that bed. Like you get up and then you just sit on the bed. You gotta go through the whole breathing exercises to get up. And nose, out nose. You're just doing everything just to get up. So it's going to be harder to get up, and depending on Social Security and retirement, it just sucks, man. So I hope everybody in that note finds something and adjust their life. Pay attention to the future, because one thing you don't want to be is rolled into the corner of a nursing home while your family is just living their best life and you are an afterthought. So remember that. Now, one of the biggest ones that I think they lied to us is marriage, getting married. Oh my God, man, they just used to just blow that in your ear. You have to get married by this age. You got to have this many kids. You got married too late. Like, when is it? Why do you have to get married? Now, if we going off the old system, and I am built off the old system, marriage, okay, it goes like this: college, marriage, house, in that order. High school, college, marriage, house, in that order. The kids. You got to have it in that order. You flipping around, you are a heathen. You are the devil's son. Well, coming up, that's what I used to say. But anyway, saving yourself. Do you remember how girls used to say, I'm saving myself for marriage? Why? Why are you saving yourself for marriage? What's the reason? What's the reason? Anyway, it could have been a religious thing or something like that. So, me personally, I got married and we went to the Justice of the Peace. I mean, did I really want to have a big wedding? I've been to a few big weddings, and I'm cool. I think I don't know. We did the right thing. Maybe I double back, when life get a little bit better for me. But marriage, if you see now in today's kids or people coming up in age that's younger than me, marriage is not a thought. And everybody that I talk to, hey man, that's married, I'm like, hey man, do you ever see yourself getting married again? No, I don't. So I hear that a lot. No, I would never get married again. So the money scheme of marriage is really different, because you got to pay to get married, right? And it got some benefits that they put out, tax benefits and all of that. And you don't want to say, this is my plate, so you have to sign to even look at my plate, or you have to sign to get a piece of my plate, right? So some guys go off love and they don't have the wife sign to get a piece of the plate. So they end up taking everything that they got, half or whatever. And, I think the worst thing is you get divorced, you have a nice house, she stay there with the kids, she stay in the house, and you continue to pay the mortgage while you in some, rat-infested, roach-infested apartment, and, the bills is still being, tucking out of your pocket. But I can go, that's a whole podcast. I don't even want to get into that, but I think marriage is on that list when it comes to they lied to us. Now, another thing that I am sort of feeling right now, and it was my main thing coming up, I always wanted the house with the gate in a cul-de-sac. Because way back in the day, I used to drive the garbage truck, right? So I'll be in these nice neighborhoods. I'm just driving, and I'm over here. I'm missing cans and shit as I'm just driving, looking at these houses. The guys on the back of the truck like, yeah. And I'm over here missing cans. And I'm just looking at these nice houses with these nice long driveways. And I'm like, man, it must be nice. I'm from the hood, Newark, New Jersey. So, you got 3 families. You probably got single families, houses close together. Some got a driveway in the middle. Some don't. People live in apartment buildings and projects and all of that. So that's what I seen. And I always wanted a house. So I was sort of like captivated and sort of like zoned in, like, I gotta get me a house. But when you get a house, it's like, damn, I just paid that. Well, why is the water bill so high? Or why is the gas so, what y'all doing in this house? Why is the gas so high? And I'm gonna tell you a little story about, I was staying at this house, and one of the toilets was like constantly running. And I didn't notice. I mean, you just hear it running, you come in, you flush it, you walk away. You come back in, you jiggle the handle, and it stopped or whatever. But during the night, it was just running, constantly running. So we had the water people come to our house. And they'd be like, yeah, we just gonna inform you, you must got a water leak or something, because you done ran through, 2,000 gallons of water. My head almost fell off my neck. Like, what? Yeah, this is the bill. You probably need to get that taken care of. You probably want to have somebody come over and see if you got a water leak or something. So stuff like that is just, problems after problems. Even if you get a new house, the new house is not made like they were back in the, early 2000s, where they actually took time building a house. Like today is like, your house come in like little pieces. You can see them on the back of the truck. The wide truck got little wood panels on it, and you can tell that's the roof, that's the side. And all they do is just put the house together like you making a gingerbread house. So they put the sides up, put a stick and hold that, and then put the stick and hold that side, and put the roof on, tack it in, and it's like cookie cutter houses. And they become cookie cutter houses when you see them shits fall apart within months. So, and when you look at the taxes going up, and that affects your mortgage, and, just keeping up with everything, and pipes busting and all of this other stuff. So, yes, some people can handle it, but some people are fed a dream of a house and fall flat. Some people has lost their house due to, job situations, marital situations. I think one of the houses that we got, husband, I think wife left or something like that. And the husband put the house went up for foreclosure. So a lot of dreams on having a house is shot down. So that whole, house with the white picket fence that we was all sold on or pushed on, it was a lie. The best thing to basically do is really, you probably save more money renting. Probably. I don't know. It depends on your situation. Now, another thing is sort of like it's like a 2-prong situation. Coming up, a lot of things people said was save your money, get a savings account. And when you put your money in a savings account, that shit just stay there. It don't build. It don't do nothing. It don't do, backflips or gymnastics. It don't do none of that. It just sit there. If you got $2,000, when you look back at it in a couple months, it's going to be $2,000. When you look back in a year, it's going to be 2,002 cents. Am I lying? So that was a lie. The reason we were told to put our money into savings accounts because the bank would use that money to push out to other people, to loan to other people, get that interest back. Voila. So the banks are sort of like hustling, taking your money, boom. Somebody call in, I want to borrow $1,000. Okay, boom, here go $1,000 of their money. Here, bam. I'm gonna charge you, I don't know, 30% interest. Okay, you give me that $1,000 back with 30% interest. You want some money out? Oh, I'll give you your money. So it's a beautiful scheme. And that was a lie far as put your money in savings accounts when we should have been putting our money somewhere for our money to work, just like they was making our money work. You get it? And another thing to add on to that is the whole credit card scheme. Now, all I've been hearing all my life, and I got smacked with it. I think it was, I think everybody had like a Sears card or one of those stores, Macy's card, had like $200, $70, $150 or something on it. And that was the first card to get you tripped up, right? And I think it was just used for in Macy's or something like that, or one of those stores. So the whole thing is credit cards help. I want to push back on that, because if I have a $1,500 credit card, right, and just say I make $1,000 a week, right, and there's something that I want that costs, I don't know, $1,000. I know that I can't get it with my pay, because my pay got to go other places. I can't just give you my whole check if I want to go buy something for $1,000. But what I could do, being that I have this money here on a card, I could use a card, swipe the card, voila, I got the little whatever I wanted for $1,000. I got it now. But I know I'm not going to put $1,000 on it by the time the month come, a wraparound month. So now I'm accruing interest on that, which is probably like 29%, 30%, something like that, something high, probably higher than that. And, I put a little minimum. I do the minimum payments just to get caught up. Now, there's people doing that with $20,000 credit cards, $30,000 credit cards, getting everything done, just swiping shit, swiping. And then that bill just be like, whoa, next thing you know, the bill takes over and you're fucked. Now you want to refinance shit and go through consolidating and all that stuff that you see on TV. I just think credit cards are some of the worst predators, disguised as somebody to help you, somebody to get your business going, somebody to build your credit. But that's another day for another show. Now, I want to end it with this. And this is the fun part. This is what I do this for. The Big Bang. That is the ultimate lie. Now let me get an explosion for that. So, the new Webb telescope is a bad motherfucker. Shut your mouth. That telescope is seeing things that shouldn't exist. It's seeing so far back that it shouldn't be galaxies. It should be probably just dust of radiation and particles or whatever, but there shouldn't be Milky Way sized galaxies that far back. And it got scientists going crazy, because that means that there is an issue with the Big Bang Theory. Now, being a science guy, this is a serious lie for me, because I'm not saying that they lied. More than likely, they probably didn't know, and they probably don't know shit. They are finding black holes that's 33 billion masses of our sun. That's like a black hole the size of our whole solar system. That shouldn't exist. But let's get back to the galaxies. It takes billions of years for galaxies to form. Billions form. Nice, well, beautiful spiral galaxies. Beautiful. You ever seen them? Beautiful. But they are seeing galaxies that's only 700 million years from the Big Bang. And that's literally impossible. So what does that mean? Does that mean there wasn't a Big Bang? So what's scary is, and I'm gonna do more on this. What's scary is, what is that next telescope gonna find? That next telescope might find God. Yes, I said it, God. It might find the screen where the simulation stops at that we are in. The field that everything breaks down. The atoms of the screen that we're looking at right now, the screen that you're looking at me right now, you know, I can't reach out, can I? I can't. And you can't touch me. You can't tap in and touch me. But hey, you never know. It's like, what would this next telescope find? It might even go so far into space that it just sees light and there's some kind of laboratory. But the beautiful thing is, you are living in an important time in history. And pay attention, because everything out there going on now is just to distract us. So all I can do and all I can say is pay attention to everything. Now, this is a serious one, and I mean it when I say this one. Thank you all for listening. And when you go outside at night, look up, because you never know who's looking back at you. All right, everybody. Thank you.